Today I've got Antonio here with me from A Real Men Real Style. Follow his YouTube channel for fashion advice for real gentlemen, and also he does fragrance videos, so check him out down below. But today we're going to be sharing with you his most complimented fragrances, the fragrances that he has received the most compliments for, and I'm going to throw in a couple there too. Yeah, welcome Antonio to my channel.
Thank you, Monica.
No problem. What fragrance do you have for us first?
Okay, I'm going to start with one that I have gotten for compliments on multiple times, and that's going to be Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Prive. And I know it's common designer, and I've got the original 1 Million as well, Lucky as well, but this one right here, it's sweet. I like it. Maybe it's a little bit of suede tobacco. I don't know. There's something about, I just get compliments when I wear it. So I've got to put it on the list.
Yeah. Is it long lasting on you? Do you find
it does?
Yeah, that's really amazing. I've got the 1 Million original, and I say on my channel all the time, I love it. I think for compliments, it still does the job. It's long lasting. It just projects. It's just so good. So I totally agree.
Yeah, you know why? I think it's a little bit of hate because of the bottle. Some people feel it's really gaudy or maybe it's tacky. But again, the average person, person that smells this on you, they're going to like, wow, you smell good. Yeah. And that makes you feel great when you get those compliments all day.
Totally. Yeah. And I think part of the success of this fragrance is the ad too. Like the ads. I love the ads that they've done for this fragrance. I think they're so cool. But anyway, let me talk about, I'm going to throw in one fragrance here, Mont Blanc Explorer. This one I complimented on men actually. And this one is a complicated one for me a little bit because it is a bit of a Creed Aventus vibe. It's a woody fragrance, but you have to really overspray it. So if you want to get compliments, really go crazy on this one. It won't be too much, but the scent itself, it's so alluring. I think also my husband told me that he was standing in a queue and 2 people asked him what he was wearing. So, this is a compliment magnet. But what about you? What is your second fragrance?
So I'm going to stick with that family, although this is more like a Creed Aventus cousin twice removed. And I think it's because of the opening, a lot of people kind of put them together. But this is going to be Bond No. 9's Scent of Peace. And yes, I would say it's close, but there's just something. This is a great, fresh, you could wear it year round, but I do feel spring, summer, fall is where this is going to be at home. This is a fragrance, I think it got talked about for a while, but then Creed definitely has taken all the limelight. It's some people, it just doesn't get talked about much anymore, but still one of my favorite fragrances. And maybe it's because I wear it so much during warm weather that I do get compliments, but I got to add it to the list. Yeah,
I actually have not sampled this one. I don't know much of Bond No. 9 fragrances, so I really need to check it out actually. So you might be seeing it on my channel.
It's a cool bottle. It's a really nice bottle, and I've just enjoyed that fragrance. It's the opening, and it lasts a good amount of time. So boom, it's on my list.
Guys. I'm going to jump in with Oud Wood. This is another designer fragrance that I feel like gets compliments. Another one that sadly you have to spray loads of to be just goes away. But you'll be the best smelling guy in any room for 3 hours and then you'll have to respray. But this just works. It's woody, not blind buy, but you can just apply it blindly any day and you'll smell great. So
I think sometimes that we just get olfactory fatigue, because a funny story with Oud Wood, it was a couple weeks ago. I brought that to the gym and I put it on after I'm out of the pool, and I've got my daughters. We're at the pool coming home, and I sit into the van, and all of a sudden my daughters are like, Dad, man, you smell good, but we can really smell you. I'm like, I guess you don't have to over apply it, because I put on 5 sprays. It's like, definitely put that up. But it was all in the skin. But my daughters, as soon as I picked out all 3 of them, were like, you smell good, Dad, but that one's strong. I'm like, so
So maybe your skin was like, after the pore was a bit open, and like maybe it just, maybe that's the trick to make any fragrance last longer.
It is a great fragrance, highly recommended. Now I'm going to throw in one that's really a lot less expensive, but any guy that wears it, I mean, again and again, I hear this one, and it's going to be L'Odyssée pour homme, and that's by issey miyake. And I'm familiar with this one. It seems like every year these guys are coming out with a flanker, but the original, I mean, there's a reason why they keep copying and trying to take some of the DNA of the original. What I love, it's priced really well. And I think it's the yuzu right at the top. This was one of the first fragrances I picked up that had that unique, I believe it's an Asian, a Japanese type of, citrus. And it does, I mean, most citrus fragrances, as you know, don't last very long. No. This one, I can get 8+ hours. And so it's a really nice, cheapy summer fragrance that isn't dated, even though it's been around for, I think, over 20 years.
To me, it smells fresh, clean, and in the summer it's just perfect because it's a bit synthetic, so it sticks to your skin. I find that it really, stays on there rather than disappearing, which I would totally compliment a guy with that fragrance.
I do find some of the flankers are a little bit too synthetic for me. I think the noir, but this one is this one's good. Very happy. So what do you got next, Monica?
I've got Elysium by Roja Parfum. This fragrance is, oh my gosh, I have to smell it because I love it so much. On a guy, I've smelled it on a guy in London, and I was like, wow, what are you wearing? This is a fragrance that is super fresh and kind of it smells like a bit of a summer cocktail to me, but in the summertime I find this one that it really projects on the skin much more than in the wintertime, and I would totally wear it myself, but I'm not going to because I love giving compliments on this one. Any guy that walks into a room smelling like this, I find it really attractive.
I have not smelled that, so I know. It's, maybe it's the price point that I just haven't pulled the trigger, because almost every fragrance I buy is a blind buy. Simply, I just don't have a place near me where I can smell things. I'm 45 minutes from any type of civilization. But at some point, I will get into Roja's fragrances there. No, I take it back. I've had a few that I've got through, samples I've had sent to me, but not that one.
Not that one.
All right. I know.
What are they saying?
Apple Brandy, Kilian.
Yes.
This one, I can't say I've gotten a lot of compliments, but I feel amazing. And I compliment myself. With this one. That's got to count for something.
That's important,
yeah. Every time I wear this, I don't drink, and there's, I've got my reasons, but I just gave up alcohol like 15 years ago. But when I put this on, I feel like I could just be sitting around. I could literally taste this. And Kilian has done his fragrances, they've done a really great job just with so many of the gourmands, and like you really feel like the food is right there, or that drink is right on your lips. Yeah,
totally. I haven't also smelled this one, actually. I think that's the accessibility to Kilian fragrances. They're only available in London, so with the pandemic and everything, I have only tested a few, but I agree with you. Kilian fragrances, they just do sweet gourmand fragrances very well, and I find that they are like real true sexy fragrances. If you're looking for a sexy compliment getter,
they don't last for a long time, and they aren't the best, they're a little bit expensive, but if you've got the means, and the way I look at it, if you buy a 100 ml bottle, that's 1,400 sprays. That's enough for a year. So 50 ml, I mean, to me, like we said, I think it's worth spending a couple dollars to add that little bit of, to your outfit. To me, it's once you get into this stuff, you find that it's well worth the money for a good fragrance.
I think so too. And you might be watching this thinking we're crazy, but just try it. Just try different fragrances, and I guarantee you'll be obsessed with fragrances until the end of time. It's just...
And for the record, I don't mind being a little bit crazy. It's much better to be a little bit crazy than a little bit, than really boring. Yes. My thoughts.
Sure. Good.
So what's up next, Monica?
Next, we've got Allure Homme Sport Extreme. This fragrance I talk about all the time. This is a smooth, fresh fragrance that in the air, it's magical, guys. You have to check it out, especially if you're starting your fragrance collection. This I smell so often where I live. It's all that I can smell it just literally on everybody, but every time I smell it, I'm like, oh my gosh, you smell so good. So yeah, an oldie but a goodie, I feel like.
Yeah, and I'm going to add right to that. I mean, let's stick with the house of Chanel. So I'm going to go with Bleu de Chanel. Again, these blue fragrances, a lot of people feel maybe they're overplayed, and you don't have to go with this one. You can go with what the EDP is great. Some people even say better, a bit smoother, but either one of these, again, are going to get you compliments. Yeah. What's interesting, I always think about Chanel is you're not going to find these on sale, though. They do a really good job of controlling their distribution, and they do set that type of premium. But it's worth smelling it. I think when it came out, it really set the bar and put the whole blue craze on. Some people could say it's overplayed, but I think that when it comes to getting compliments, when it comes to just smelling great, you can't really beat Bleu de Chanel. And it's incredibly versatile. You can wear it to the office. You can wear it out, spray a little bit more. You could even, you're going to be probably, overpowered by Versace Eros at the club or, 1 million Prive, but this one is going to smell good on you.
I feel like this is a fragrance that you can go and meet your girlfriend's parents. You can go to the office smelling like this. It's just so good. My little tip is that it actually goes on sale in the UK. I don't know about US, but in the UK, Debenhams and also John Lewis, those two retailers, every now in a blue moon, they'll go on sale 10%. So I always...
Sounds like that people need to just fly to the UK and wait for that.
Literally, right? That's the only solution. You have to do it. But yeah, it's totally worth it. Now it's my turn. Let's go with Bentley. Bentley, a very affordable fragrance. Yes. This is For Men Intense. This fragrance, I feel like it's a bit different from all the fragrances I have mentioned before, because this one has got sweetness. It's an aromatic, ambery fragrance. I smell a bit of chocolate too in here. And it's for such an affordable price. This lasts long, it will get you compliments, and it's a perfect winter cozy scent. And I feel like you like cozy scents because you mentioned that one. Yeah, I feel like
I do. I have that one and I love it.
Yeah. It's just, it lasts such a long time. I was surprised. It doesn't smell cheap at all, which sometimes you can find this really cheaply. So I'm all for that fragrance.
Yeah, Gucci, or I'm sorry, was it the Absolute that is actually the copy of, because I've got that one, I have the Absolute, but one of them was made, it was the same exact formula as a classic Gucci fragrance. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Not sure.
I'll have to do the research.
Silverman.
I'm sure somebody will let us know in the comments that's really big into
for sure.
But what I found so interesting about the house, the Bentley and the fragrances they're putting out, especially the line you're talking about, is how they used really good ingredients. They went after some of the best perfumers, yet you can find these things on, if you go to the Bentley website, they sell for like over $100, but you can find them at discounters for 30 or 40 if you look around. Yeah,
you can, and I'm just really adore this fragrance. I just can't get enough. But what is your fragrance that you've got?
So this one, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, come on, Antonio, so gaudy. But I'm going to put it on here, and that's Bad Boy by CH. And the reason being is, so I put this on, I was at a duty free in the airport, and it was just come out. They were doing that huge, I don't know if you ever saw this in the airport, the duty frees, but they had it lined up. There were hundreds of them. And so I tried it. I liked it, and I actually got a couple compliments, on the flight, and this is all, pre-COVID and stuff. But the only thing, and I will agree on this, this doesn't last super long. But I think it's a warm, it's got the cocoa in it, got I think a little bit of cinnamon. This is just a really nice, cozy, compliment-getting fragrance, and it comes with you either like the bottle or you hate it.
Yeah. I love the bottles. I have to say, I love the bottles of this one and also the women's one, but I can't stand the scent. It's just, for me, I think maybe it's because I got like bad memories with both the women and the men's scents. Like somebody was sitting next to me at a Christmas party wearing from one side the good girl and from the other bad boy, and I just couldn't smell anything I was eating. I had nausea. I just couldn't do it. So this, for me, it's a no, but I understand the appeal to it, and I think it's a cozy fragrance for sure.
Well, I mean, if you had smelt it on me, Monica, you know, that everything would have changed. Yeah. But hey, you know.
But, you know, at this time, Corona, we can't do anything about it.
Nope.
No.
So what do you got up next?
I think that is 5. I think
that's it. Come on, you got to throw in a bonus. You got to have something, right?
I know,
something
else.
Here, what about this one? Aqua Profumo. Okay, so the classic is great, but this one is even better. A little bit stronger, is going to last. And, you know, I even think the new one, the Profundo, is really good too. A little bit more oceanic. This one, I think a little just fresher, more classic. But this, again, people see it everywhere. They're like, you know, it's overplayed. No, this is classic fragrance. Great. You could wear it year round, but more at home in the spring and summer. I get compliments on this one.
Is your bottle gold and black?
It is. It's the special blend.
Oh yeah, that's why I was thinking, wow, this is a special bottle. Mine is just normal silver. But yeah,
I've got some really cool special bottles. That's the thing, like when you've been in this game, like this is my spice bomb. Cool. Check this out. It's got like the digital like stuff. Like, I don't know why. It was funny. Before I was even into fragrances, because we had this YouTube channel for so long, I would just get things sent to me. And Jeremy actually gave me this one when I was visiting him in Germany. And he's like, oh yeah, so he's telling me how special it was. And I was like, okay, well, you know, thanks. It turns out, it is kind of a special one.
That's a nice gift. That's good. I'm always the same. I just give out fragrances to people and they just come and they're like, oh, I love this one. Do you want it? You know, people just love fragrances. I feel like you can't go wrong with Acqua either. This one, like, it's a secret fragrance for me that if I can't sleep, I actually come into this room, I spray it in the room, and it calms me down, and then I can go to sleep, which is a very strange thing, but to me this is very hypnotic. Just the patchouli in this gives it like this earthy, aquatic feel that, it's just
it's amazing. Like, I think with compliments and everything, it's so personal. Like you said, you're not going to like the bad boy, but you know, there's going to be someone. So here, you know, this fragrance right here, it's what is it, CH212 for men. For me, it's the cut grass smell. As soon as I read about this and I put something, I'm like, holy cow, this reminds me of just simply, you know, on a spring morning, you know, having cut the lawn for the maybe first or second time for the year. And I smell this. And I think that's the key with fragrances and compliments is how does it work on you? But also, what does it trigger in that person's mind that, oh, that smells so good. I've got to say something.
It's all about the memories, isn't it? Just the trigger, and then you can remember something. I don't know about you, but I've got a couple of fragrances. For example, you know, this one, Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. This one my husband was wearing when we dated. And that fragrance just brings so many memories to me, and it's just nostalgia. I just can't. I keep
talk about a closer fragrance. I mean, you dated, and then hey, it was like boom, he got you right with that fragrance.
This is a fragrance. He was always wearing this and a leather jacket, and those two scents, they just complement and marry each other perfectly. So I recommend. Recommend.
I just did a leather jacket video yesterday talking about what it says about a guy. And it's funny, the fragrance that I brought in, Parfums de Marly Godolphin. I'm like, you want to smell like a leather jacket? Boom, go with that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh my gosh, yeah. Leather jacket, if you're a guy, I think that is just a staple you should always own.
It's got to fit and it needs to be the right style, but boom, if you nail that and you wear it and you feel confident wearing it, you're going to get compliments. And I think it's just so fun. Like, fragrance is something that just adds to, like you said, it was that leather jacket, but also the smell and that mix right there. And I'm sure he just felt good, and it was just something that drew you right in.
Yeah, that was it. And I think with leather jackets also, you can't go too big, go too small because they stretch. and tiny bit too small, not too small, like you can't literally. But yeah, with just simple stuff. You don't need to own loads of clothes. You don't need to own loads of fragrances, but if you have those staples like a t-shirt, a leather jacket, a good suit, and then a couple of scents that really, you know, one for every day, one for date nights, that would be just, you know, you're winning.
Don't you find it funny that we tell people this, yet we own hundreds and hundreds of fragrances? And I'm thinking, I got like 25 leather jackets here. That like, it's like, okay. But then again, we do the hard work, right, Monica? We're testing everything for you.
Exactly. We sift through all this stuff just for you.
Well, thank you, Monica, so much for having me on your channel. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here and sharing your favorites and a bit of fashion, you know, tips for guys. So be sure to check out Antonio's channel. I'll link it down below, as well as the fragrances, because some of the names, I know, guys, that they're hard for you to pronounce or like type in to check out. And yeah, I'll see you all again very soon. Bye, guys.